baby sat in a hot car for hours.
And any way I can help prevent this from happening ever again, that's how I'm going to celebrate his life.
I tried to give him CPR, and he wouldn't take no air.
You're in Florida. The heat's tremendous out here. The humidity's terrible. I myself at 40 years old couldn't be outside for more than 10, 15 minutes without a bottle of water or something. I could only imagine how this poor baby felt.
It is a tragedy we report on all too often, and just this year, 8 children have died from being left in hot cars. I mean, the most recent over the weekend. So there is a new push from safety advocates asking Congress to act. I want to bring in Jeanette Fennell. She is the founder and president of KidsInCars.org. She joins me now, and we're talking about the Hot Cars Act. This would require automobile companies to have this sensor to let us know that there is something in the rear seat. Explain to me why this bill you believe is so important.
Well, it's extremely important, and it's something we've been working on for over 10 years. What's happened is now that we transport our children in the back seat, where they are the safest, but they're now out of sight, out of mind. Now add that with a rear-facing car seat, which holds very young babies, and put that together with parents who are probably not getting enough sleep, if any sleep, for that first year of that baby's life. So what is happening is children are unknowingly being left alone in vehicles. And the statistics are appalling. I mean, last year was the worst year ever with 52 children dying. And already this year, 10 children have lost their lives in hot cars.
Yeah, and you know, we have to ask, you've been working on this for 10 years? I mean, what's the hang-up? Why aren't car companies behind helping parents to remember this? Because I've done a million of these stories. The only thing we ever get to is put your purse or a bag in the back so you can go and check. And people say, I can't imagine how someone could forget this. I mean, you are right. Sleep deprivation is real, and the mistake happens all too frequently.
Absolutely, and that is the biggest mistake anyone can make, is to think that they could not forget their child. Because if they feel that way, they won't put any type of, proactive safety tips in place. And yes, this is, 2019. There is technology for everything. In fact, technology is running our lives. So all we're asking is a reminder, is a buzz, is some sort of an alert that will let that driver know that something's been left behind. And it's not too big of an ask when you look at our vehicles. I mean, it reminds us about everything. Put on your seatbelt, make sure your door is closed, don't leave your key ignition, you name it. And all we're asking for is something similar to what you get as an alarm when you leave your headlights on.
I know, I mean it seems so
turns off
logical.
automatically.
Why aren't automakers behind this if they're not?
Well, that is a very good question. They've been going on forever that education is enough. And clearly it is not, because this continues to happen with 52 children dying last year. So now is the time. We're done with all those excuses, and we need some action. So we're really going to be pushing very, very aggressively to get this taken care of this year.
I have to say, my car does have this. There are some cars that have this technology. Mine has it, and I have to say, it works. I mean, it really does. Not that I have ever been in a position that I have forgotten my child. It's just, you see it, and it's just right in front of your face, and it reminds you. And if it can prevent one of these atrocious deaths, then I have to say, Jeanette Fennell, thank you for the work you're doing to try and get this passed.
All right, well, let's all come together and make sure it happens this year.
Take care. Well, there are